Is that right? I'm going to stand with him all the way. I don't care how many years it takes. I will be here.
Tonight, another step toward justice for a man wrongfully convicted of rape. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Erin Christie. We have been covering the story of William Henry Jamerson, who spent 24 years in prison. A judge threw out his rape conviction earlier this year after his attorney searched the TPD property room and found the decades-buried DNA evidence. I went to the courthouse today where Jamerson asked the judge to remove him from the sex offender registry once and for all. Henry Jamerson no longer has to register as a sex offender. The state didn't even object to the request. Jamerson relieved, but of few words.
I feel better than I was. It's a great blessing.
Kayleen Dubbs has plenty to say. She was 16 and pregnant when she was raped outside a Tulsa restaurant where she worked. She feels police coerced her into pinning it on Jamerson.
They gave me his name. They showed me photos of him. They groomed me. The way they do you, it makes you feel like you're wrong.
For years, she questioned the investigation.
But who am I to go to if the DA and the cops were involved in all this?
She said investigators convinced her to stay disconnected. She didn't even go to the trial.
I couldn't watch the news. Wasn't allowed to read the newspaper. Weird, right?
Dubbs said witnesses named possible suspects as restaurant employees who didn't show up for work the night of the crime.
There was two guys that called in that night. There was a guy that raped me and there was a guy that robbed the place. They never interviewed him. And now that I'm older and I think back of all this, I see through everything that they did. And I'm going to stand here until it's over. I'm not going anywhere.
Despite his conviction thrown out, attorneys say getting his name removed from the registry was unnecessary red tape.
That should have been done by the Department of Corrections the next day because they knew all about it. This is just the beginning, hopefully, of the justice that we're going to be able to obtain for him at the end of the day.
His attorneys are filing a civil lawsuit. The Tulsa County DA is appealing his overturned conviction. Also in court, attorney Dan Smolin asked the judge to unseal the internal affairs investigation that led to the demotion of the police officer in charge of the property room where that DNA was subsequently found, and attorneys believe deliberately hidden. He is hoping documents will shed light into who ordered officers to hide that DNA.